Augmenting the poetic. AI as co-creator in the digital sublime. Abstract. In this epoch of algorithmic ascendancy, the praxis of art and poetry transcends its historical boundaries, engaging with the machinic aesthetic and computational semiotics. This presentation interrogates the emergent paradigm where artificial intelligence, AI, operates not as a mere tool but as an interlocutor, a co-creator, within the expanded field of digital art and poetic practice. Drawing from generative linguistics, neural aesthetics, and speculative design, I explore the confluence of human intentionality and machine interpretation, proposing a framework for understanding AI as an agent of creative augmentation. Introduction: the expanded field of creation. Opening premise: the 21st century has witnessed an ontological rupture in the arts, where the integration of AI systems challenges the anthropocentric monopoly on creativity. The expanded field, as Rosalind Krauss once termed it, now incorporates computational logics and neural networks as material and conceptual collaborators. Key inquiry: what happens to authorship, originality, and meaning when language itself becomes code, and code becomes the language of art? Section 1. AI as linguistic architect. Conceptual framework. Natural language is both a substrate and a mechanism within AI's creative operations. Building on Wittgenstein's language games and Chomskyan generative grammar, AI systems like GPT-4 simulate a quasi-linguistic creativity, interpolating vast corpora into novel syntaxes. Case studies in poetic generation. The conversational algorithm as iterative training ground for AI poetics. Juxtaposing classical forms, e.g. sonnets, with post-structural fragmentation in machine-generated verse. AI-generated poetry as a digital palimpsest, overlaying latent structures from its training corpus. Section 2. Visuality and the machine sublime. Visual generativity. AI image synthesis tools operationalize textual prompts as visual algorithms. This process epitomizes the machinic sublime, a digital reenactment of Kantian awe through non-human interpretation. Practical implications. My practice involves crafting prompts that oscillate between precision and ambiguity, fostering emergent aesthetics. AI becomes an agent of defamiliarization, destabilizing ocular centrism and expanding the semiotics of the image. Section 3. Co-creation and dialogic praxis. Theoretical lens. The dialogic interaction with AI evokes Mikhail Bakhtin's concept of the polyphonic novel, where multiple voices coalesce into a dynamic narrative. Here, the artist and the AI enter a feedback loop of mutual reconfiguration. Practical application. My co-creative methodology involves generating poetic prompts that double as image generation inputs, iterative refinement based on AI outputs akin to sculpting language and form, reconceptualizing failure as productive divergence, where misinterpretations yield unexpected insights. Section 4. Institutional and cultural paradigms. Critical reflection. Institutions often situate AI within neoliberal frameworks of efficiency and commodification. I propose an alternative: AI as a disruptive force against the homogenization of artistic practice. Case for decentralization. AI democratizes access to advanced creative tools, but also raises ethical dilemmas regarding authorship, intellectual property, and socioeconomic disparities in access. Conclusion: toward an ethics of co-creation. Provocation. In an era of algorithmic ubiquity, artists must engage AI not as a neutral tool, but as a provocative collaborator, interrogating its biases, limitations, and potentials. Closing thought: AI does not replicate human creativity. It refracts it, offering us a mirror that distorts, expands, and ultimately redefines what it means to create. Q&A prepared responses. 1. How do you address the ethical implications of AI-generated art? Ethics in AI art necessitates a dual critique of the systems that shape these technologies and the cultural frameworks in which they operate. Transparency in both process and provenance must underpin our practices. 2. Is AI truly creative? Response: creativity, as a human construct, is reimagined through AI. It functions less as an autonomous originator and more as a combinatory mechanism, revealing latent connections within its corpus. 3. What role does failure play in your work with AI? Response: failure is generative. The so-called errors of AI often reveal conceptual fissures that inspire new directions. It is a dialogue, not a deterministic process. Visual aids and performative elements. Slides, neural network visualizations, examples of text-to-image synthesis, and excerpts from co-created poetry. Live demonstration. Crafting a text prompt in real time, generating an AI image, and engaging the audience in interpretive dialogue. Soundscape. Incorporating AI-generated audio to create a multi-sensory immersion.